Hi guys, nice
Hi.
to see you live and online. Today I want to make a lecture a little bit about emotional regulation. For those who have stress at their work and their life, and maybe conflicts at their relationships, maybe anxiety sometimes, maybe depression, symptoms of depression. So any questions related to emotions, you can ask me today, okay? I got a lecture here, but we will go in improvised tempo, okay? So I have some questions from you too. We can answer them later, right? Okay. So the name of the lecture today is Fuck the Mood, Follow the Plan. So this is the slogan that Leila Hormozi has. Do you know her? She has a portfolio of $500 million companies. So she's a famous influencer on YouTube. And I was watching her a lot. And this is her like slogan, her logo, like fuck the mood, follow the plan. Because she's like strong, super energetical woman. With her husband, they build a big company. So, but I wanted to comment on that slogan because I don't really 100% sure it should be done like that. I mean, like to grow big business and to become a millionaire. Because sometimes we need to follow the mood, but sometimes we need to follow the plan, right? So I was questioning myself when we should follow the mood and when we should follow the plan, because one time you wake up, you don't want to go to work out, right? You don't want to go to work and do your job today. And sometimes you really need to overcome this and really go and perform and do that, right? So what do you think? What questions do you have in this topic? Do you agree that you need to fuck the mood and follow the plan? You fuck the mood. Let's vote. Who is fucking the mood and following just the plan?
I'm fucking the mood.
Okay.
In between.
In between?
Yes,
In between?
Yeah, one
Tough?
one. Yeah.
50-50 or like your percentage? Huh?
Depends what it is. If it's your job, you probably should follow the plan. If it's meetings.
Even if you have a shitty mood.
Maybe if it's many days in a row,
Yes.
it should be like no, stick with the plan. But if you're like just having a bad day, just fuck the
Yeah,
plan. I think as long as it's not like you know many consecutive days of you're like being in a heavy depression or something. Then
Yeah, if you're burning out, you probably should follow the plan.
Yes, you're right. What about you guys? How do you work?
Fuck the mood, I think. Follow the plan.
Okay, what about you?
In Russia, every time I thought about fuck them too, and I should to follow the plan. But when I came to Bali, I began to think in different
Yes.
thoughts come to my mind about I should to follow to maybe my heart, my
Intuition?
intuition, maybe yes, and I noticed that if I do a lot of repetitive tasks, routine tasks,
Yes,
it's became boring for me,
of course.
and some thoughts in my mind appear like I don't do it. I need to do big things.
Yeah.
With творчество,
Creativity.
creativity things, big things. I don't need to do short things.
Yeah.
And after that, I notice every big things contains from little
Small
things.
things, right? And
Little,
routine things.
Little
Yeah.
things, maybe boring things, and it's okay. And if you know why you do it, if your plan explains you why you do it, I think you.
Yeah, if you have a bigger
I
motivation.
think your mood. You don't need to fuck your mood because your mood will be okay if your plan explain you why
Yes.
you do it.
We will talk about this, about the values. Actually, the main thing is our values. If we know our values, and in mindfulness, I will talk about mindfulness today, about emotional efficacy. Do you know, guys, what is emotional efficacy? Never heard. Okay.
No.
So, Dr. Aprilia West is a psychotherapist for 20 years. She was working with Fortune 500, with congressmen, with a lot of people. She had a doctor degree about psychology, and she made her own type of therapy and called it emotional efficacy therapy. So I learned this way of therapy, and also like 5 more modalities in therapy to understand how to deal with emotions. So I can send you the link to read about this. This is the latest studies in psychology about how to deal with emotions, how to deal with stress, with anxiety and with depression without no pills. So it's like healthy way to deal with emotions. So she says that on her website, she says like it's 35,000 choices we make every day. And our emotions signalize about each of the choice, but most of them we do automatically, right? We don't like think about 35,000 choices every day. So, but it's very important to understand and to deal with emotions in terms of your behavior, because if you are overloaded with your emotions, you suppress your emotions, then you go smoke, you go drink, you go do drugs, you watch a lot of reels, every day or series, and you don't go out, you don't go to your goals, and you just procrastinate if you don't deal with your emotions, right?
You need to get light dopamine.
Yes, you need to get dopamine. You forget about your values because maybe you don't aware of them. What are your top values right now? And you're not consciously following your values plan, right? Because you're like, oh, I feel bad, but I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to go deeper what is inside. I will just like scroll 2 hours now and I will
hide about these
Yeah.
scary thoughts.
Yeah, what do you feel, guys? Do you have any procrastination or, do you have any hours of procrastination or any experience of procrastination? Yeah?
I deal with it a lot. I think we all fall into it a little bit. Like on social media, they have like a huge team of like psychologists or like UX UI designers that like, work every day to see how can we make this person like more addicted to it, how can we make things faster, how can we position things more, how can we make everything more like stimulating,
Yes.
So it's like, I feel like even if you don't want to, there's like, I don't know, there's like so much study into like social media and stuff that you just fall into it like very easily. So
That's why we need to be prepared with mindfulness, with exercises I will talk about, and we will practice one basic exercise today. In the end, it's like 4 steps of exercise, but you can do it anytime and every day when you want to go back to your mindfulness state and you need to take action or you need to take a mindful choice. For example, you just took your phone and you want to go to Instagram instead of work, for example, or workout. And you just do this exercise that takes like 1 minute, and you go back to yourself and you don't need it anymore because you remember your values and you're like, okay, this is not for me. I do my work, and I focus. So, about fuck the mood. So how does she do it? I don't know her personally, this famous entrepreneur, but I feel like she is mindful, but I'm not sure if she had this education, right? But this is education, a protocol of 8 weeks, where every week I got the new exercises, so anyone can get it. You can get it on the official site in the group. So every week you learn some new exercise. So today I will give you just one of it, right? And after the 8-week study, 8 weeks course, there is a questionnaire, and I saw that how my answers changed, how I'm not any longer, I'm not led by emotions in my choices. I'm not led by my thoughts, by my feelings, I'm led by my values, right? But before, I was like full of emotions. I'm super emotional person. I'm like, oh, you know, like sad and angry and all together. And it was so difficult for me to manage all of them. And what I did, I was suppressing my emotions. Like all my life, I was like workaholic that is fucking the mood and following the plan. But what was happening later? I was burning out like crazy. You know, I was working, making money, and burning out. Then I felt illness, usually with my back, with my spine, you know, and go to doctors with my digestion also, because it's also connected to nervous system. You know, when you are too anxious, you have digestive issues. And I always had problems with my health because of overworking and never being mindful. So these mindfulness techniques I use like a couple of years, you know, not like all my life, but I see the results of it, you know, on myself and on the people that I help with it. So I'm not any longer burning out because I understand how my brain works and what I need to do to not to stop at the right amount of time of working, because only you can understand when to stop, not me like your mentor or coach, because no one knows your feeling of your system right now, and you need to understand how you work, how much resource you have today to understand how much you can work and how much it's overwork, of course, right? So I think she fucks the mood. She told about a lot of burning out on her videos, and but she was like, I'm not burning out even like if I work 14 hours a day, because I'm happy with my work, I do what I love. But I'm not sure this is true, you know, because like if you work 14 hours a day, you don't have hobbies, right? You just work out, go work, and later at the evening you watch TV with your husband. That's your life. You don't have like many interests, you know, you just have focus on your career. But I feel and I promote a balanced life where you have hobbies, you can go surf, you can read a book in the morning. So I prefer to work less hours a day. And the last like 5 years, I work around 2 hours a day. And for me, this is my balance. But I cannot recommend you guys to work 2 hours. For example, Nick cannot, you know. Nick should work more because he has his personality that wants to work more, you know. So, but not 14 hours a day as when he did his startup, right? Because he told us last time that he had his body reaction, right? And he was all with allergy, or what was it?
Like
fever.
eyes,
Yeah.
Like a bunch of red
Yeah,
boxes.
and he was totally like, his body was showing him, you are doing it not right. You're overwhelming your system, mental and physical. You should not do that like that, right? Mm-hmm. And if he stopped before, he could do it more effectively. He could do like observing what is he doing, right, in the startup, and do better decision. And maybe he could manage the decisions properly, I mean like in the right timing, but he didn't know how to do it. And I was doing the same mistakes. I was like choosing wrong partners for my business, and it cost me a lot of money and a lot of time, you know. Choosing bad relationship partners, that was also not my conscious choice. I was like just fitted with my emotions and my like, oh, I want this guy or I want this relationships, you know, but it was not conscious choice. It was led by emotion. And of course, emotions are great. They signalize us about what we feel, but we should not be led by them. There is a gap between emotion and the behavior. Usually people don't have conscious gap. They just automatically, there is an emotion and I go follow the emotion. That's how it works usually. But when you learn mindfulness techniques, you have a gap between emotion and your behavior. And in this gap, you're like analyzing, should I do this or should I not? You know, is it leading me to my values, to my future self that I imagine in 10 years or when, you know? Like, is it leading me this way to my perfect relationships, or this guy is abusive and I feel like I should not be with him, you know? But usually people don't have time for it. They don't know how to do it. So today we learn how to do it, actually. And this exercise will help for any situation you have. So another problem with emotions is that we not only suppress them, but we don't want to see them, you know? We're just like, it's anger or it's sadness and I don't want to go there, you know? Did you have this feeling? Yeah? Like you...
I feel like I do go there though. That's my problem, that it's like when I'm feeling sad, I can't like separate myself from it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just extremely sad one day or like very irritated or something. I can't really like, even if I doom scroll on Instagram, like as I'm scrolling, you know, I'm just scrolling because I want to be doing something, but like the things in my head are still there. So for me, it's not really like avoiding the emotions, it's just not doing something to like...
To let go of these emotions.
Yeah.
But scrolling is also avoiding. You are not seeing them now. So, one sec. If you have sadness, there is an exercise to leave the sadness. It takes like 5-10 minutes. And you just really leave the sadness, because any emotion is 90 seconds. And what is after 90 seconds is thought after thought after thought, like what we think about it, you know? So you can stop feeling the emotion in 90 seconds. But to perform this, you need to have a skill, you know? So because you're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, you don't leave the emotions for 90 seconds. If you had a conscious choice, I would sit here, I will leave it fully for 90 seconds and do the special exercise for it to live it fully, like meditation that is connected to this. They studied all the meditation. They had the scientific studies on people. So it helps. It reduces depression 50% and anxiety, same, without any pills. So avoiding means not feeling it in the moment. Avoiding means like you just like, I will do something else instead of feeling this right now, sadness or anger, because usually socially people think it's bad emotions. There is no bad or good, you know, there is all emotions that we need to feel. Your question?
Yeah, I guess I am avoiding in some areas.
Yeah.
But the problem is that I don't actually am able to see what I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what areas of my